It's never a boring day being a Chelsea fan because number one, Nagelsmann had his interview and we've got the fallout from it. It's down to three people, Pochettino, Enrique and Nagelsmann, and we've got the latest details. But Todd Boehly apparently has made it normal going into a dressing room and calling players out. He called one individual player out and he basically asked him, why the hell am I paying this money for you? Guys, I'm speechless, but I got a video to make, so I got to talk about it. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Kavkas View, and in today's video, yes, we are going to be breaking down what's been going on with the new manager hunt, but more importantly, what happened when Todd Boehly went into the dressing room. Because fireworks apparently went off in the sense that Todd Boehly had a good old rant. He spoke about money, criticized players publicly, and finally, he also talked about how they have a great opportunity. I'll tell you what it is. He's very deluded if he thinks there is an opportunity. But before we get started, I need you lot to do something. Hit the like button. It's the easiest way for you guys to support the channel. Do it now. You are going to forget. But subscribe to the channel because you made it this far. You are enjoying it. And finally, in the pinned comment is my Instagram. Go follow me there and let's get me to 1,000 followers. And more importantly, any football related questions you lot have, reach out. I reply. I want to build a community. But we need to start with the big news. We need to start with the gaffer, all right? Because look, at this moment in time, we have got a PE teacher for a manager. I think it's no disrespect to say that Frank Lampard is out of his depth. The evidence is there. He did a very good job at Derby. He did a decent job at Chelsea for his first season. He did a hopeless job in the second season when he got back. Everton was a total calamity. And now Chelsea is worse than a calamity. I don't know the word for it. I need to look at a thesaurus. What's going on? Chelsea have narrowed it down to 3 people. The Sky Sports are reporting that Chelsea, number one, have had talks with Juillan Nagelsmann face to face. Initially, it was all to do with his representatives and them. Then they flew out last Thursday to Munich, had a very good conversations with Nagelsmann, and it was very promising. It also came out that Chelsea sent individuals from the Chelsea legal team to the Bayern legal team to discuss a clause to be broken. Basically, what happens is when you get sacked from a football club 9 out of 10 times is they pay you out and make you sit on gardening leave. What gardening leave means is you can't work for someone else for X amount of time. You're going to be getting your salary as if you're working, but really you're still technically employed at the club. So Juillan Nagelsmann technically is getting a beautiful salary at this moment in time. He's living his best life. He's relaxing, but getting paid from Bayern Munich for no reason at all. They sacked him. They're keeping him on the books. Chelsea need to negotiate if they want him. So Chelsea's legal team went out to Munich trying to break this down and trying to see how much it's going to cost to get Juillan Nagelsmann to the club. The good thing here is they want Anthony Barry. So I think the negotiations will be very simple and it'll be a nice deal to get done very easily. But from the talks that came out between Chelsea and Nagelsmann, Sky Germany is reporting that number one, Juillan Nagelsmann is interested in the job. He does not want the Spurs job. He's potentially waiting for the Real Madrid job, but he's keen on the Chelsea job. It's something that caught his eye. However, he does want to be convinced and he wants to see what the project actually is going to become. So technically, we're the ones waiting on Nagelsmann and Nagelsmann's not waiting for us. Hence, why we appointed Frank Lampard. They don't want Enrique. That's my belief. Matt Law, on the other hand, has come out and said there are 3 options. And all 3 still have a very good chance of getting the job. Number 1, Juillan Nagelsmann. Number 2, Enrique. I gave you guys the breakdown of what happened with Enrique a video 2 days ago. So in the pinned comment at the end, that video will be there. Make sure you go and watch it. It'll give you a good breakdown and understanding of why Enrique is second choice. But Matt Law also threw in a curveball. And the curveball is that the man, the legend, the Spurs legend, Mauricio Pochettino is included. Look, a lot of you are going to say to me, Pochettino isn't qualified to get this Chelsea job. I think you need to go back and look at what Pochettino actually did with Spurs. Like, in my lifetime, Spurs have been a joke, right? I never took them seriously as a club. Poch comes in, and all of a sudden they're finishing second, they're finishing third, they're like having good performances. They're a team that essentially gets the Champions League finals, semi-finals of Carling Cups, FA Cup. They're a team that became some sort of threat. Then he went to PSG and his situation got dampened. The issue for me and why I'd be against Poch coming in is not Poch, it's the fan. The Stamford Bridge faithful are 3 losses away from saying he's Spursy, he's a geezer that don't belong here. What are we doing? Like, I'm telling you right now, they're literally going to look for any excuse to bring up his roots to Spurs, his alliance to Spurs, or the fact that he's out of his depth and never won a trophy outside of PSG. Personally, I think it's really unfair, but I'm just looking at it from a realistic standpoint and an honest point of view. But now we need to get into the big issue. And this is the big topic that I think a lot of people need to understand. Todd Boehly Vice and Bohly, all three of them decided that it was their job to go down to the dressing room after the defeat against Brighton and give them basically a big bollocking, give them a piece of their mind. Apparently, the word embarrassing was used. This is being reported by Jacob Steenberg that, look, they've been embarrassing. They are embarrassing the club, they're embarrassing themselves, and their performances have been unacceptable. We can all agree that that is very true, and in any line of work, the boss should be allowed to go in and basically tell you when you're not doing your job properly. Then, apparently, they went on and they took it to the next step. Apparently, some of the players are not performing up to par, and they don't understand how all this money is being spent and reputations are being acquired. So individuals for £100 million, £56 million, £80 million, but yet they're performing like rubbish. Bohly and the team don't understand that. They called it out. And then the final one, and this one really triggered me. One individual was actively called out that was acquired 12 months ago and literally singled out because they were acquired for a large sum of money and Todd Boehly didn't appreciate their performance. We don't know who it is. We can narrow it down. The narrowing down was what? Cucurella didn't play on the weekend. What's his name? Koulibaly didn't play. I'm telling you now, I've narrowed it down and it feels like it's Raheem Sterling. And if it is Raheem Sterling, I think that's bang out of order. Because let me give you some pointers and some implications of Raheem Sterling come to Chelsea. Raheem came to Chelsea to be part of a system under Tuchel. You bring him under Tuchel, you use Tuchel to pull Raheem in, and then all of a sudden you sack Tuchel. And once you sack Tuchel, Graham Potter comes in and takes Raheem from a position where he was very comfortable in, playing in a front three, starts putting him left wing back, and all of a sudden Raheem's no longer in the team because he's injured. And the reality is, you have misused Raheem Sterling. You have tried to make Raheem Sterling something that he's not. And when you do that to players, you can't be upset when the players don't meet your expectation. It's a simple give and take. If I know I'm an individual that is a supplementary piece in a very good team that gets you 15 to 20 goals, stop asking me to be the piece of a team that is going to be creating, scoring, assisting, and more importantly, just the vocal emblem of your team. That's never been Raheem Sterling. That's never going to be Raheem Sterling. And it's unfair to single him out when there are players that have been bought for more money, have been worse. And then now we're going to get to Kepa Arrizabalaga. Kepa openly said that this is normal. Bohly and Bohly come in and they talk to all of them. When there's good performances, bad performances, they basically always enter the dressing room. Frank Lampard gave the politically correct answer and said, you know what, we respect it. It's good to have him in and around the squad. Talk Sport, which we already know is basically got affinities with this new ownership group. They have actively stated on numerous occasions, Simon Jordan and Jim White, they have said, we've met Bohly in Qatar, we spoke to him, we spoke to his representatives, and if the truth comes out about why Tuchel was sacked, I would have sacked him too. We've heard all of this stuff, so we know this is coming from the head office. They said the fans are the important thing here, and that the ownership group believe the fans are paying a lot of money. So if they're paying for a lot of money, they expect performances. All of this sounds good on paper. But the reality is, people, this is the football world. The owner has no place to be in the dressing room. The owner should sit in the terraces where the drinks are, where the nice food is, in the stand, and sit there and enjoy the product. But you own the club. You pay the wages, I understand, but you do not belong in a dressing room. You have a director of football, you have a manager. They're integral in what happens on the pitch. You should keep your nose out of it. You sign the checks and you have the team. And if results don't go well, you blame the director of football, you blame the manager. You blame the players by selling them. You basically tell them, hey, if something's not working out, either fix it or we're going to replace you. And guess what the director of football will do? He'll replace the players. You hire people to do jobs. Allow people to do the jobs. You do not need to go in there and micromanage every little detail. You do not need to go into the dressing room and actively try to manipulate people to give you an opinion. I understand he's a successful businessman, and I understand that in other fields, in other industries, what he's doing is going to work. It's good to have a cohesive unit. The problem is, in the football world, that doesn't work. We've seen it on numerous occasions. You need the board to do the board's job. You need the scouts to do the scouts' job. You need the manager to do the coaching. And if that works out nicely and everything's harmonious in the sense that the scouts are picking the right players and giving it to the coach is developing, everything flows nicely and results come. You can't consistently chop and change and have everyone has an opinion on everything and everything tries to get done quickly. It becomes a kerfuffle. It becomes like a massive pot of porridge stuck in with peas and everything, and it's disgusting. Nothing in there is going to work because the ingredients don't fit. So reality is, Bohly needs to stick his nose out a little bit and hire a manager and let his chiefs of executives cook. He needs to let Vivil cook. He needs to let Lawrence cook. He needs to let Whit Stanley cook, or whatever his name is. He needs to let all of them cook and do their jobs. And he needs to stop putting them under consistent pressure, because it's not going to work. And any hope that they have of turning over the Madrid performance today, you're having a laugh. I don't believe in it. I'm sorry, call me a fake fan, call me whatever you want, call me a plastic. I believe in facts and evidence. Evidence is, under Potter, we may have stood a chance, we may have had some hope. Under Frank Lampard, I haven't seen anything in the 3 games to even give me a little glimmer of hope. We've scored 1 goal. We've had 30 or 60 shots against our goal in 3 games. I'm not going to believe it. You're not going to hear me talk rubbish after the game and try to tell you guys, you know what, I told you. I've got an exam tomorrow. I'm going to prioritize that. I'm going to get a good night's sleep, go in there, smash the exam, and the next day I'll give you guys a review. But tonight, don't expect a review, because I'll be honest, Chelsea don't deserve me giving up sleep, risking me failing an exam for their poor performance that's going to be coming tonight. I don't see no miracle at Stamford Bridge. I don't see it happening. But hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, let me know your thoughts. Peace out, I'm out. Bye.